stuff. You're live. Oh man, I guess this thing, I guess I'm live. I'm doing this thing because every time I do a video, this thing take 5 hours to upload. And then all of my everything on the internet is locked. I can't even play solitaire when I'm trying to upload a video. So this thing says, "Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy." Blah, blah. It sounds like it's live. It says, "Mary's World, say something." I'm saying something. But anyway, let me talk about what I was talking about in the videos I tried to upload. Let me sit up right. Oh, that's better. But the issues of things that's going on in this country, some really serious things. So that's been on my mind all day. Excuse me. And you know, Donald Trump, the issue is him. And you think about, to me, he remind me of a little rascal or something. You got to figure out what to do with him. And I know he's doing this kind of stuff to get publicity. And I hope that's all this thing comes to. Let him, go to jail, get his little T-shirts and his little pictures and put them on his T-shirt. And he campaigned for his um, running. And his little followers, they be happy and they be jumping around in their little red hats. Let them do that, but don't get the police and the rioting and breaking windows and all that and tearing the country up. That's what I don't want. Please don't do that. But anyway, I hate that. And that's what's been on my mind all day. But I'm just gonna see how this live thing go, because if it's showing, I might start doing that, because doing a video is so tiresome. But anyway, I today, what have I been doing? I've been nursing a fever, low grade fever, for over a week now, and it's not no more than 100.3. But I feel okay. Nothing hurting that haven't been hurting already. But I just feel kind of hot and cold. But if it gets too high, I'll go to the emergency room and see what's going on. But today, let me show y'all something. Some people, um, I had these mugs made on Canva, and a lot of people may not like this mug, but it says, "You are the God you pray to." And when you really, really think about it, and when you really know yourself, and when you know the desires of your heart, you can really pray, and you know you feel worthy of what you're praying for, because you know yourself. This is another mug. "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." Psalms 91. No, Psalms 34 and 8. I'm saying Psalms 91. But this is all I want to talk about. And we just have to, and not we, it's just, I just have to learn not to worry. And what I can do is go get a few more items from the store, just in case, because we don't know what's going to go. I just, there's so much going on, so many killings and shootings. And if there was a conflict, kind of like the Civil War, I can't picture the civilians being safe, because in the Civil War you had the North against the South, the blue against the gray. But we got who we have, the Democrats and the Republicans. So they're gonna fight each other. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm old, but I know I'm not gonna be out there fighting nobody. surely they'll spare the old people. Because, ooh, glory be to the Father. I can't do it. But anyway, we just have to try not to worry. But I'm trying to think what else is on my mind. I told y'all, no, I didn't say that. I've been working on a screenplay. Well, the screenplay, I wrote it a long time ago, but I had to make some changes, changing the ending and eliminating some characters. But I got it the way I want it. And I have six people wanting me to send them the screenplay. And I have to send a pitch. And I wrote the pitch a long time ago, and I went through all my flash drives, and I cannot find this pitch. So it looks like I might have to write it again. But a pitch is just, like a sale. You're trying to sell these people on your screenplay or your book. And it's not long. The pitch is no more than what, 2 paragraphs, but it's got to be the right words. So I got to put it in my mind to write the pitch. I've been busy with that. When I finally got tired and went to sleep, took my temperature, and woke up with the fever, 100.1. So I took some more Tylenol, and I guess it's breaking because I'm sweating. I mean, my hair is all wet and all of that. So maybe the fever is breaking. But all we can do is pray, people. That's what we can do. And I usually wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do my prayers. But you can do prayers anytime you want to, because we can pray right now. But your closet, you go in your secret place and pray, and that's what you do, and everything is okay. You don't have to be a Christian to pray either. You don't even have to have a religion to pray, because religion is some man-made stuff. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna see how this stream thing work, because my my Reiki master, she wants to be on my channel and do some talking, and I can't. I don't know. We live so far apart, so she said, "Mary, can't we do whatever? Not StreamYard, but whatever people was doing a long time ago when the thing first came out, the COVID." And I can't. I don't know how to do that. And my son Tony, he don't have patience with me. And my son that passed away, bless his soul, he Keith, that's his name. Keith would I would ask him to do something, and Keith would say, "Okay, my mama do it." But Keith was the one that would tell me a lie just to make me shut up. Yeah, my mama do it, so and so, so and so. And he don't do it. He don't even show up. Now Tony, my youngest son, I asked him to do something. No, I ain't gonna do that. No, I ain't got time for that. He'll tell me right then and there. No, 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 no. And I don't know which do I want to hear him the truth? No. Or did I want to hear Keith say okay and not do it? So, but Keith is gone. So Tony is the one that treat me like I'm a child. No, mama, you can't have that. Mama, no. It's just the role is switched. So I'm gonna try to learn how to do this stuff so I could get my Reiki master to talk. We're gonna talk a little bit about Reiki, no more than 30 minutes, because the way I got into Reiki, I think I did a video about that. What am I, 9 minutes? I It had to be 95, something like that. I was working hard in that upholstery shop. I worked like a slave, picking up sofas, chunking chairs, flipping. And I was so sore. I was sore all the time. My body ached. If you touched me, I was sore. but I didn't know I had MS either. And that's one of the things, some people with MS, their body is just sore all over. So I would go and get massages every 2 weeks, massages. And that's the only relief I got. So my massage therapist, her name was Sharon. I don't know if she's still alive or not, but she was good to me. The massages were great. And this particular day, I had been in her place of business before, but she had the animal cards. You pull a card and you look in the book, and it would tell you, something about what's going on in your life. And I fell in love with those cards in her office, so I went and bought me a deck of those cards for my home. So I was getting ready to go to Sharon's to get a massage, but I said, let me play with these cards before I go. So I played with the cards and I pulled a card in reverse. And it was very on point. And I said, now I'm going to go to Sharon's office and play with her deck of cards. And if I pull the same card, I'm going to kind of believe these cards are working. They true. So I drive far enough Dallas, sitting in the waiting area till Sharon changed the sheets and got ready for me. I picked up her cards and her book. I cut the cards, and I did pull the same card upside down that I pulled at home. I said, "Wow, that was amazing." So I believe that those cards were for me. That was the sign. Get in Sharon's office, have a great massage. Oh, it feels so good. And I go to sleep during the massage, which I no, I don't ever do that. And after the massage, but while she was doing the massage, I had a dream. I was dreaming. And when Sharon, I got up, we were, I was getting ready to go, dressing, and Sharon came in. She said, "Oh, Mary, you were so relaxed during the massage. You even snored while you were asleep." And I said, "I did." She said, "Yeah, you did." And then I remembered that I had a dream. And I said, "Oh, Sharon, I had a dream while you were giving me a massage and you were in it." She said, "What? Tell me about it." I said, "Well, in the dream, I was on a ship and I was lost at sea, and you were on the shore and you were saying, 'Mary, I'm giving you light. I'm giving you light. You need light.' And I was able to come, to shore. While I was saying that, Sharon had some towels in her hand and she dropped them. She said, 'Oh my God, Mary, that's what I was saying. In real life, while I was massaging your feet and doing trigger points, I was saying, I'm giving you light.' I said, 'Why did you do that?' She said, 'I was doing Reiki on you and I wasn't supposed to do that without your permission.' I said, 'You were doing what? Never heard of Reiki.' And she explained it to me best she could. But she said, 'Here's a book I want you to take home and read it. But take care of it. It's a special book.' I said, 'Okay.' I get to my house, my apartment, and I said, 'What the hell did she, excuse my words, what did she do to me?' And she said, I mean, the voice within me said, 'Pick up your Bible and thumb through it like you do when you have a question.' And I remembered, I said, 'Yeah, I used to do that. If I had something on my mind, I'd thumb through the Bible. And the first scripture that I pointed to was relevant for my situation. So I picked up the Bible and was thumbing through it. And in my mind, I said, I'm going to stop on the scripture that says, 'Thy word is a light unto my feet and my path,' and all something about light. I knew I was going to stop on that. And I stopped on the scripture in James that says, Every good and perfect gift comes from above, from the Father of lights. I'm gonna say, what is this? This voice within me says, read it again, Mary, but read it real slow. Because I was ready to thumb through the Bible and find me another scripture. You know, he tried to cheat, when you don't like what you found. So I slowed down and read it again. And it says, every good and perfect gift. And this voice was just talking to me and said, Sharon said, I'm giving you light, Mary. I said, yeah, she did say that. And if someone gives you something, it is a gift. And I said, yeah, that's right. And it said, finish reading. And the scripture said, every good and perfect gift comes from above, from the Father of lights. I said, oh, because she was saying, I'm giving you light. I'm giving you light. And I read some more, and I finally realized that Reiki is a gift that we shouldn't be afraid of. And this gift was given to us at birth. We are born with the power of Reiki. It comes from the touch, the healing touch in our hand, the energy. So it is a gift. And so I don't know. I gave the book back to Sharon, and she said, Mary, I want you to meet my Reiki master. Her name is Linda. I said, okay. And she said, if you like Reiki, I want you to read some more books, and you could be initiated in the first and second degree, and you can become a Reiki master. I said, okay, I'll do that. Because I was just getting away from Christianity. And, that was hard. That was a hard thing I ever had to do. But let me do something here. This thing keep telling me to say something. Where am I supposed to? I thought I'm saying something. Am I supposed to type something? I don't know. I'm gonna say hello. Let's see what happens if I say that. It said that, but it's nobody in the chat. But that's okay, cause I'm just gonna see if this is any better than loading up a video. But anyway, so I was talking about how when I left the church, because I would leave the church. I have left the church so many times I can't count. I would leave the church because of something I didn't like or something they said. I would leave, and they would, in my mind, something bad happen, or my car break down, my husband leave me or something. It's because I left the church, and this thing voice kept ringing in my head. You going to hell. You going to hell because you left the church. So I go back to church and stand up and testify and ask the saints. I want the saints to forgive me and accept me back to the church. So you had to go up and sit on this bench. Pastor put some oil on your forehead, and they was singing, hollering in your face, and you're supposed to get happy and cry and all that. I would cry, but I just didn't feel the spirit of God like I wanted to. So, but I'm back in the church. 6 months, I'd say 6 months, I had to leave again. And what I did, I don't know, because it wasn't that I had to go chase a man or go get drunk. It was something that I didn't like. I can't say what it was, but yeah, I can say it. The pastor and the things that the people in the church were doing, they condemn you about one thing. And one thing that really pissed me off, if you were in the church, a young woman, and if you got pregnant, and you were kicked out of church if you had a big stomach and you're not married. So you had to ask the church to forgive you. Okay, I can understand if you want to come back. I want to be accepted in the fold. Please forgive me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but the pastor's granddaughter, okay, she gets pregnant and she's not married. But the thing about it, she gets married when she is about 3, 4 months pregnant. And she didn't have a wedding, just one of these I go to the courthouse wedding. And she was the prince. She's princess. She's supposed to have the biggest wedding in the church house. So when the baby is due, her mother has it fixed. So if you call the hospital, they wouldn't tell nothing about this baby. And then when people did find out something, they put it out that the baby was premature. Premature. Because they want you to believe that she got pregnant, she got married and then got pregnant. The time changing the months. This baby, this baby is born, but you see his little picture. You know they take the little pictures, baby. This baby, big old baby. The baby weighed 9 pounds, but he's supposed to be a 7-month baby. This baby is so big, he got a sling on his arm, and this is his picture when he born. You know damn well that wasn't no premature baby. Boy, that bugged me so bad. I left again. I just and my ex-husband mother, oh, she had a fit, but he was out of church, and they didn't try to tell him he was wrong, but they were watching me. I don't understand that. And then that I got out of the church. I really did. And then I made up my mind. I'm gonna get me some beer. I'm gonna drink. I don't care. And I'm probably gonna mess around on my ex because that's what he was doing. So I actually got out in the world. I put on me a pair of pants, some hot pants too. Them things were tight, and I was young and looking good. And oh Lord, and when I did that, my ex, ooh, I got to come back to you because there's too many men looking at you. I'm moving back in. Me, I let him in. Somebody say, hey, Ben Stinker. Girl, I'm on here trying to do something different because if I do these old videos, it takes almost, 20 hours to upload one. And then it locks up my computer. I can't play solitaire. I can't do nothing. So I'm just running my mouth. But girl, I'm talking about that church house, a Pentecostal, a holiness church. So when I started wearing hot pants and smoking cigarettes, oh, my ex, he wanted to come back. So I let him back. But I got on the wild side. I started drinking. Then I started smoking weed. And you know what happened next. I started smoking drugs, crack. And the story it's a bad story, but God is the one who sustained me during that time because my ex, he the one that gave me the dope, and he wanted me to uh get hooked, but I wasn't getting hooked because I wasn't smoking it right. So he did this, and I didn't figure this out till later. But one day he would usually go out and buy the dope and bring it home. But this time he said, "I want you to go." I'll be and say, "I left the church years ago. I still love God, though." Amen. I still love God. And see the thing about that, Ben, think of the people in the church. Man, they would drive by this little old house I was living in, and they were looking for me to just die and crawl back to the church. And they heard that I was on drugs. But do you think they didn't come to the house to pray for me? And I don't know what I would have did. I might have slammed the door in their face. I don't know. But see, I couldn't see God looking at them because they wasn't in no better shape than I was. It was horrible thing those people did, man. I mean, you got to read the book, Going Home Another Way, because that's how I had to get myself off drugs. I had to write about that. And a lot of them, the assistant pastor, he read the book. A lot of them read the book, and he told me, he called me, he said that they gonna put a lawsuit on me, and they they didn't come to minister to you. No, they came to I don't know. No, it wasn't minister. They came to condemn me and make me afraid. And there were times when I was afraid, and I run back, get out of church again, run back, and backslide. That's what they called it. And I finally stopped being afraid, and I had to go down this path. But I can tell you some things. But my ex, he's the one that wanted to get me hooked, and he took me to his dealer, and she showed me how to smoke that stuff, and that did it, because he wanted me to be hung up and wanted so I could spend my money, because I was doing upholstery and I had big money. I mean, these jobs I was putting out, man, I had $3,000 $4,000. She said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." They don't. They don't. And I'm not angry with these people, because I see them on the street and they still call me Sister Mary. And one time, a member of the church, she called me and she said, "Mary, Sister Mary," that's what she said, "Sister Mary, I got a problem." And the pastor, it was the granddaughter that I told you was pregnant. She was the pastor now, because her grandfather passed. And she said, "Pastor Peggy," well, I'm saying real names. Uh-oh. Anyway, she said, let's say Pastor Lucy. Pastor Lucy, I had a dream, and Pastor Lucy said she can't interpret dreams, and she told me to come to you. I said, "She told you to come to me?" She, "Yeah, because she said you got the gift of prophecy and you can do dream interpretation." And so I thought about it. I said, that's amazing that she still remember the gifts that I had, and she didn't, she must still believe that I'm standing with God, even though I don't go to that church. So anyway, the girl told me to dream, and I did interpret it, and I forgot about it. And probably 5 years later, the girl called me and she said, "Sister Mary, that dream you interpreted 5 years ago, it came true." In Daniel, they called. Oh, they sure did. Called for the astrologers. Ooh, Ben's thinking, you, man, you must have been on the same road I've been on, girl. And when you have that gift, you have it, and you can't throw it away. You can't be afraid of it either. But I gave her that interpretation and it came true, but I forgot about it. I said, "What are you talking about, Ann?" She said, "Yeah, you remember you interpreted a dream?" And she told me exactly what I said. I said, "Oh, yeah, I remember that." And it came true. I've been following you for a few years. Oh, you have? Oh, that's good. Make me feel good. Because sometimes, I, I don't know, this YouTube thing, I've had a few people to follow me and have misunderstandings about different things, and a lot of people think I'm hard or I mean and all that, but I have a low tolerance of ignorance. I really do. And I just don't like people to attack me. I guess it's because, when I was coming up, there was so many people to attack me, and I knew how to shield myself, and that's what I do. But I love doing YouTube, and think I like this live thing. I've been talking for 20 minutes. I don't do that. I think, yeah, this is better than trying to upload a video. It is. But I'm gonna continue to do this because I like talking to people. I live alone, and you're doing great. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming on, because I didn't know if I was just talking to myself. I guess I was, because I don't know where to look on this thing. I see top chat, I see you, and I don't know where to look to see if anybody else is in here. Let me look there. It says live. Oh, it say 5 people and 3 thumbs up. Hey, 5 people. Oh, this is fun. I like this. So, is it a time limit on how long you could be on here, or what? Your story about your son passing really encouraged me. Oh, that's good, girl. My baby, I tell you, that's the roughest thing I ever been through. Well, one of the roughest things. My mother when she died, but I'm trying to think. No, my son. I was rougher than my mother because my mother, she was my mother, and she shielded herself. She wasn't close. She would not be close to us because I don't know. Maybe because her mother and father were old when they had her, so maybe they didn't hug and kiss her. And my mother never did kiss us. I don't remember her hugging me. But when she got sick, I would touch her and I'd kiss her, and she didn't know what to do. I said, Mama, I love you. And she said, oh, I love you too. And I said, oh, it's so sad. She didn't know how to love and touch. And I came here touching and feeling. I was a nursing baby till I was almost 3. And I loved my mother. I was sitting in her lap and twirl her hair. You say what you say. Condolences didn't have to share. I don't know what it was about your sharing that encouraged, but really did. Oh, we have to lift each other up. We do, because people say, I'm saved. I'm saved. We're not saved. We're all still in the quicksand. We have to hold each other up and keep each other from sinking. And a lot of times in your sinking stage, you holler out and talk about how you're sinking, and the next fella to you is able to pull you up, and pulling you up is strengthening him. But we get out of the quicksand, but we still got to walk in this land, and maybe and it is some more quicksand somewhere else. So we have to walk, carefully. But man, I tell you, I'm getting so much better with that situation with my son, and even with things that bother me. And I hear lately, for my mind's sake, I've been trying to when my mind go to a low place. One day I did this, bam, 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 4 times in my forehead. And I would tell myself, get out of that. Don't think that. Close that out. And that was like resetting my computer. And I said, "Oh, that's a low place." And I would think about something else. But that's the way I would get myself out of there. But it's been fun talking to you, Biz. Oh man, thank you so much. I For the rest of you guys that's in here, you don't have to say nothing, because I go to people's chat and I don't say anything, because sometimes it's not necessary to say anything, but just do your little thumbs up. But I'm so glad you're talking, beings. It's there. Encourage yourself in the Most High. Yeah, that song. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. And there are a lot of songs that lift me up. And music is a healing thing because sometimes you hear music and you remember the song and you could be healing. We have these five senses of hearing. You hear Mel B. Hey, Mary, I really don't post much comments. I'm glad to see you live. Hoping you'll stream more often. I think I will. I get too emotional though. Ooh, I'm a crybaby. But it's the tears of joy. Um, Depression is the enemy coming in like a flood. Yeah, it is. And I was talking about our five senses. You know, we hear, we smell, we taste, and all of those. But when I hear music, I can hear a song, and certain songs, it takes me to a place. And I could hear some church songs and I'd be crying and just by myself, I'd be so happy. And then I hear another song, it could be a love song. And I'll remember who I was with. I said, ooh, I'm going back down that line. And then I can taste some food. I say, ooh, I remember eating this when I was a kid or when I was somewhere else. And I can smell something. I could smell salmon and mackerel cooking. And I think about this lady in the project. You know, we were so poor. But she would cook, it wasn't salmon, it was mackerel. She would cook mackerel. And that stuff smells so good. And when I smell it now, I think about Miss Garrett. She would fry that mackerel. So I'm real sensitive to all of these things. I could touch something and remember. So the key is remembering. For me, is my memory. But I'm glad you guys are here. But my main thing was talking about Donald Trump and the stress we're getting ready to go through. And it may not be nothing, but we still have to remember to pray. That's the thing. Prayer is the thing that's gonna carry us through. And I don't know what Trump's people want to do and how they feel about it. And I don't know if they're gonna riot or but America does not need to go through that. We went through the Civil War and we can't do it. And I just don't want no riots and stuff. But prayer is a thing we have to do. And I've been on here 37 minutes and I'm gonna get out, but I'm gonna do lives. It's when I have my wind going. Like I said, right now I've been having a low grade fever for a few days now, and I believe it's breaking because I'm sweating, so I'm getting kind of winded. But the Most High God raises standards against the enemy. The weapons can't prosper. So, what is the enemy against the? Oh, okay, against me. I got it. I got it, man. And you know Psalms 91. That is my go-to scripture. I um I don't know. I guess it's a long story about that, but Psalms 91, this man told me to do this and I would get up at 4 o'clock for 9 nights in a row and read Psalms 91. And I did this. I really did this. But let me tell you a quick story about this. This is crazy. I was dating two men one time, and it's getting kind of dangerous. So I knew I was going to have to quit one of these men because one guy, the older guy, he wanted me to marry him. And the man I had been going with him for a while, he was married. So I was sitting there saying, I said, God, I got to get rid of one of these men. What am I going to do? This faithful voice that I tell y'all about, this voice says, the man that gives you something yellow, do what he says. And me, I thinking God was answering my prayer because that's what I said. Which man am I going to keep? It says the man that gives you something yellow. do what he says. And I said, it must be a yellow flower, a gold ring. I said, yeah, that's what he telling me. Whoever gives me that, that's who I'm gonna be with, and I'm gonna quit the other man. The next week, neither one of these men give me nothing. So I said, well, maybe they'll, give me something, but nothing happened. So the next week on the radio, I hear this man talking. He says, I'm gonna be at the such and such hotel, and I want you to come out because I got some information for you about the Bible. So I asked my sister to go with me. She be, Mary, you make me sick. You always want to go somewhere. So she went. He said, get there and hurry because a lot of people gonna be there. I said, girl, we gotta be there so we can get a seat. We get there on time. Only people sitting in the auditorium. It's not an auditorium, it's a conference room. And we sit there, and Kathy, my sister said, girl, are we in the right place? I said, I think so. That's what he said. Finally, this man comes in. He had on a black robe, and he apologized for nobody being there. He said, I know I advertised. He said, but you two are the only people here. He said, I know it's cold, but let's go in the restaurant. We're going out the door. He says, have you all ever had your palms read? I said, what? And my sister say, hell no, we don't do that. That's voodoo stuff. And he said, how do you know if you never done it? And so me, my big mouth, I say, well, shoot, he gonna read my palm for something. We coming over here and yeah, read my palm. Tell me what's going on. So enemy. Okay, that's what that means. Psalms 91 is the truth. But girl, guess what? We we go to the restaurant, sitting at the table. This man name is Emmanuel. He's sitting across from me at this large round table. My sister is sitting between us. So he asked me to hold out my palms. I hold them out. And I asked him, did he need to touch him? He said, no. He saw him, read my palm. This man started telling everything about my life. I said, what? How does this man know about me like that? Oh, it was scary. And then he said, Mary, I'm going to give you some things to write down and things I want you to do. And he went in his briefcase and got the brightest yellow paper and handed it to my sister for her to give to me. He handed my sister, and she threw her hands up in the air. She said, no, I don't want to touch that stuff. The paper started floating to the table. I grabbed it before it hit the table. I said, give me this shit. I said, shit. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, preacher. But I touched the paper before it hit the table. So he give me some stuff to write down, blah, 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 and some hyssop. And I supposed to be taking these baths and stuff. And he was telling me about some stuff about, what's this thing? Oshun and all these. I didn't know what he was talking about because he said he was a priest. And I thought he was a Catholic priest. So, I ain't know nothing about that. Anyway, we left and we get in the car. And I'm looking at the yellow paper. I told myself, girl, this show was a waste of time. All this man did was give me this damn yellow paper. And when I said yellow paper, I said, oh my God. The voice said, the man that gives you something yellow, do what he says. I interpret the whole thing wrong. I said, well, what did he, and I had to remember what he said. There were some things he wanted me to pray at 4 o'clock and read Psalms 91 for protection because he said something is coming in your life. That was the thing. He said, you need to be protected, Mary. And Kathy, when I told her about what the voice said, she said, Mary, you better do what that man said because the voice never lie because she knew about the voice. When I tell the voice said something, she knew it was real. So I got myself together and I did this, the whole, whatever he said, for 9 nights, Psalms 91. And after the 9 days, I forgot about it. But he said it for protection. Do you know 3 months after that, my ex-husband moved back in the house with me, and he brought crack cocaine with him. And I do know that that protection, Psalms 91, was the protection. It didn't stop me from doing the drugs, but it protected me from staying on it long and dying, because I could have died. There were times when I would smoke that stuff, my nose would bleed. I mean, it was, and I didn't realize I was having a stroke then. One night I was so scared, my heart was just coming out of my chest. I told my ex, I said, "You got to take me to the fire station," because I said, "I'm dying." He was scared. He said, "They gonna know we've been smoking dope." I said, "I don't give a damn what. I'm not gonna die in this house." He takes me to the fire station. They took my blood pressure, and he knew I had been smoking dope. He said, Are you? Did you get the dope from somebody new?" I said, "No. It's from the same people." I said, "I just been smoking." This was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, "I've been smoking since 6 o'clock." And they got me strapped in a stretcher. He said, "You in a stroke zone." So they gave me this stuff you get for a heart attack, and they got the nosebleed and stuff. And they asked my ex, how was he doing? He said, "I don't know. I'm all right. I'm going home. I'm going home." They rushed me to the hospital, stuck me with all sorts of needles and stuff and oxygen. And that was protection. But I found out later, I have had 3 mini strokes. And that's when I got it, when I was doing that drug. But that was the protection. That Psalms 91, and meeting this man named Emmanuel, and the voice saying, "The man that gives you something yellow, do what he says." So that is my testimony about protection from the drugs. And I'm gonna get ready to close. Oh man, this is my first time doing this. I like it, but I just don't know how to present it and be through with it, because in a video, you say, you know what you're gonna say, and you close out. But I don't want to. I guess I just say bye and thank you for coming. And I'll do this again. I love it. I love doing this. And I got to get used to it. You say Psalms 91. And that's what I'm going to start doing that prayer, because I still do it when I have an emergency that I need to do, or something I really want God to do for me. I do this Psalms 91 prayer. And one time I was on the ninth day, I was ending this ritual. And my brother, my oldest brother, he was on drugs real bad too. He had been in and out of rehab, and when I got through with it, I said, "Oh, Michelle, hey Michelle, sending you love too." Oh man. And my brother, he was on drugs real bad. He was living with me. And I was finishing that ninth day of my ritual with Psalms 91. And the voice says to me, "Give this to your brother. He needs it more than you." I said, "Oh, really?" And I thought about it. I said, "Yes." And I said, "God, I want this to be the last time he has to go to rehab." Because my brother, they would send him to rehab 3 and 4 times. And he had a good job. He was in aircraft. And that boy had security clearances, and they knew he was good, and they didn't want to lose him. And I said, "Okay, I'm going to send this prayer for him, because I don't want him to lose his job and die on this stuff." Because he had it worse. He would smoke dope from 2 pipes and nose bleeding at the same time. It's a wonder he's not dead. But do you know, after I sent I sent the prayer for him, he went on into rehab. And do you know, my brother, that was the last time he went to rehab. He is like 75 years old now. And he got a testimony, and he tells it. And I don't tell him about, me praying and giving him my prayer. I mean, it's not necessary, but because a lot of people were praying for him. I should try praying with Psalms 91. Yes, that works for me. And he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I think about that so many times. And when you think about the secret place, that's a place that don't nobody know but you. And ooh, I'm getting chilled. And when I go to that place, it's just a place where I am safe. And you dwell in that place under the shadow of the Almighty, you are safe. Man. So it doesn't hurt. Hey, Sonny, it doesn't hurt to go and do that. And it's kind of like a sanctifying thing. And I don't go to church. And people say you got that church hurt. Yeah, I do. I do. And I know I can. The spirit moves me, and I could go and let the spirit do what it does. But in the end, you still gonna have to live and have God contained in your life 24 hours. So it doesn't matter if you go to church, you can glorify God wherever you are. But Mel B, at the end of my personal prayers, yes, quote that Psalms 91. And I'm going to get off here. I can't believe I talked this long. But you guys, thank you for coming in and supporting me. I'm going to try to do this once a week. Y'all going to fool around and make me start preaching again. But anyway, I'm going to say good night, guys. And thank you for coming in. Much love to you guys. Bye bye. Oh, man. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. And I like that.